back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing this makeup look for you. This is a little bit different as it's more of like an editorial makeup look, more of something maybe you do on like a photo shoot or something. It's not obviously something I would really wear out, and I wouldn't wear my hair like this greasy. But this is the kind of look I wanted to go for today, so it is a little bit different, but you can definitely take elements of this look and just use it in everyday life as well. So if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep watching.
Okay, so starting off with my bare face, I first of all primed it using the L'Oreal Lumi Magique primer, purely because this one has got more of like illuminating finish to it, which is obviously what we were definitely going for. Foundation, I'm using the YSL Touch Chocolate foundation mixed in with the Gerard Cosmetics Illuminator. The foundation is in shade BR60, which I actually thought was going to be more tan than this, because I obviously wanted a tander one. Tander one? Is that a word? No. But it's actually not that brown. But anyway, I just used my damp Beauty Blender Pro just to blend that into my face, and then I went back in with some more of that Gerard Cosmetics Illuminator. This is the BB Plus cream, and I just put that on the high points of my face to begin that kind of really glowing process. So I just dabbed on with my finger and then blended it out with my Beauty Blender. Moving on to concealer, I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Concealer. This is in the shade Light. Haven't used this in ages and I forgot that I really like it. So I just applied that underneath my eyes, but as you can see, I'm not going in a complete triangle like I normally would. So definitely nowhere near as much concealer under the eyes as I normally would wear. I've still got it in that kind of shape, so it's not a complete circle, but not, yeah. You get what I mean. It blends out into a triangle, but not as heavy. I'm using my micro beauty blender to blend this out, which I haven't used for so long, and I actually loved it. I thought I hated these, but it worked so well, so I think I might use these more often. And plus, it's just so cute. So I just use that to blend out the concealer, and then I will be setting it with a tiny amount of the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but honestly, like the smallest amount, and only right in that like inner corner part of the underneath of the eye, just so it doesn't crease, but not enough that it's going to like make it super matte. So just a really small amount on that same micro beauty blender. I'm then going in with, this is a new product for me. This is the Illamasqua. It's called a gel sculpt, and it's in the shade Silhouette. It's a contour stick, and oh my god, I am like totally obsessed with this new product. It's not even new. It's not new, but it's new to me. But oh my god, it is like the nicest shade ever, and it just, oh my god, it's like a gel, and it's really cooling on the skin, like really refreshing, and it blended out so nicely, and the colour just made me look like, just like tanned. So I just applied it everywhere I would usually contour, and also where the sun would hit your face, and then I'm going to blend it out with my Beauty Blender again. Okay, I'm then going in with my Makeup Forever Pro Fusion Bronzer in 30M, just on my Sigma contour brush, no, my MAC contour brush. I'm just applying this at this part of my cheek, like up the top. I use this bronzer because, as I've said before, this bronzer you could put on like a ton, and it doesn't look like you've got product on your face, so it still is going to keep with that glowy theme. But obviously I didn't want to put too much of this on at this point, because I wanted the face to be as glowing and illuminating like as physically possible. So moving on to the highlight, I'm using the Illamasqua Gleam Highlight. This is in the shade Aurora. I can never say that word. Anyway, I'm using my ring finger just to pat this on all the high points of my face, so the top of my cheekbones, bridge of my nose, tiny bit on the forehead, and my Cupid's bow. And then I will be going in, first of all I think I'm going to blend this out, because obviously you can see, like you can't leave it like that, like you can see the edges of it. So I just go in my beauty blender just to pat around the edges, just to make sure there's no like crazy lines going on, and also just to help spread the product. I'm then going to be setting it and going over it with my So Hollywood Illuminator by Anastasia on this Real Techniques small duo fiber brush to really hit those high points of the face. And this combination of these two I love like a lot. Like I used this combination quite a lot in my videos recently because it just gives you like such amazing glow without it looking like you've got a shitload of product on your face, basically. Moving on to the Rimmel bronzer, I'm basically using this exactly the same as I did with that Makeup Forever one, but this bronzer is like such a perfect sort of beachy golden colour. It reminds me of Matte Give Me Sun. I've said that to you before, but it just gives you more of like a golden finish, and I'm just flicking this. You can see I'm holding the brush quite far at the end, and I'm kind of flicking it where the sun would naturally hit your face, so where would be most brown, if that makes sense. Setting it and just making it even dewier with MAC Fix Plus Setting Spray. I always do that because it takes away any powderiness and just makes your face look really fresh and glowy. Moving on to eyebrows, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush in number 12, and then I'm going to be just filling them in with my brow bar to go as I normally do. Went in pretty thick. I wanted the brows to definitely be one of the focus points and be super thick and a bit straighter than my normal brows usually are, so not quite as arched. And then I just flicked out the product on that inner part just to make them look a little bit more bushy, and then I just go over it with the beauty blender just to fade it out so it's like a bit softer in that inner part and not like a block. Going into the TooFaced Semi Sweet palette, I am taking the shade Peanut Butter on that, well, on another duo fibre brush from Real Techniques, but the same brush I used for the highlight. And I'm just working this in the crease, but all over this kind of general area, and also underneath the eye as well. You can go pretty low with this because this brush is a duo fibre brush. It doesn't pick up a ton of product, so it does make it very soft and diffused. But I literally worked this product around the whole perimeter of my eye. Next, for the actual lid shade, I'm going in with Colourpop. This is in Nillionaire, not Millionaire, but Nillionaire. But first of all, I applied this Illamasqua gel base, which is actually like a mixing fluid. So you can actually just mix this first before you put it on your eye, but I couldn't be bothered. So I put the Illamasqua gel like liquid thing on my eye first, which you can see is like Vaseline-y. And then I applied this Colourpop shadow on top of it with a concealer brush, because I really wanted it to be like that kind of wet glossy look. And can we just talk about this? And seriously, look at that colour on my eyelid. Oh my god, like I dreamt of this look in my head, but this like blew me away of exactly how I wanted it to look, but better. Like so glossy and wet and just exactly what I was going for. I love it. Like it's insane. This Illamasqua like gel thing, I'll try and find it and link it below, like transformed me. Moving on to the lower lash line, I'm just lining it with Whiskey by Urban Decay, just any brown liner would do. And then I'm curling my lashes and applying the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I am not going to be using lashes for this look. It's meant to be like, obviously it's not natural, like come on, like my eyelids have obviously got eyeshadow on them, but I wanted it to be as natural as possible. So I just applied just mascara and that was that. Now we're moving on to those fake freckles. First of all, I started off with this brow satin pencil in medium brown by Maybelline, and as you can see, I'm just twisting and dotting. So you want some bigger ones and some smaller ones, and I'm basically just applying these anywhere like the sun would hit, so where you would naturally have freckles. So all across that sort of nose, cheekbone part of my face, and then also I will be applying some on my forehead and a tiny bit like on my upper lip, because obviously people get freckles there where the sun hits. But you just want to keep going over these. Now moving on to the forehead, and then once you've done a few and obviously it looks a bit crazy like this, you just want to dab over it with your damp beauty blender. I have figured out that the trick of fake freckles is definitely layering, so go in with some, dab them out so you can barely see them, and then go in again. I then also went in with this small brush and my Brow Bar To Go powder, and again just builded up the layers. Builded up? That is so not a word. Built up the layers and then pushed them over my beauty blender, and also just dabbing over like this with your finger. Just so you've got some that are really faded and some that are a bit more stand out, because that's like how freckles are. I also tried to do like little clusters, so you've got a little cluster going on the forehead. Freckles, I find they tend to be really random, so don't think about it too much. Just be random with them. Like just go for it and just randomly put them anywhere. Moving on to the lips, I'm using that same brow satin in medium brown. This is kind of like to contour the lips, because obviously I didn't want it to look like I had something on my lips, but I still wanted them to look really, really full. So I just put a bit of this, as you can see, in the outer corners. I shaded in the center to give them like a fuller look in the center, so just this bit here, and also very underneath the lip. This is going to make your lips definitely look way bigger. And then just going around the outside of the lip, but not actually on the lip, like above the lip. Does that make sense? Like, you can see what I've done. And then I just blend it out with my micro blender, my micro beauty blender, just to obviously soften it so you don't look like you've got like a crazy line. I then went in with some of that Illamasqua base on my lips to make them super, super glossy, and then tapped over some of the Anastasia highlight, and then your look is done. For the hair, I basically just had in my extensions, I just sprayed it with, this is actually an oil I made myself, which I use as like a treatment. It's coconut oil, almond oil and rosemary oil, and I basically just sprayed this on my hair, worked it in and really, really messed it up, and that was the finished look, guys. I hope you liked it.
Okay, so this is the finished look, guys. I really hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Way too many feels, way too much emotion.